Here we go. We're back. Dom, how we feeling?
Um, in retrospect, I feel good. Had a couple drinks tonight. Ready to
There you go.
go. I'm more awake than I usually am for you guys. More electric, energized here. But yeah. All in all, Steelers are about to be in Dublin, so I'm about to get drunk on Guinness on Sunday. How are you feeling?
You getting up early for it to start drinking?
Obviously, shower beers. You know the drill.
Oh yeah, of course. That's fair. No, I respect
It's
it.
it's like St. Patty's 2.0.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Like
St. Patty's in Pittsburgh is a whole different story.
it's a different world. My body can't handle thinking about St. Patty's Day, let alone living it ever again. I'm not gonna lie there. But all right, let's get into this. Going into week 4 here. Um, let's start with the probably biggest game of the weekend, which again I am attached to. Um, and I sent this to you last night, late night thoughts, thinking about anything and everything. I am going to put my tinfoil hat on a little bit here. Go a little conspiracy theory, galaxy brain, whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm
Okay.
right on this. So Namdi Matabike is out again this week.
Yeah.
Already, already listed as out, or Harbaugh already said that he was out. Then I started picking up on Ravens Twitter. There were some rumblings about, you know, the severity of this because there's just been like no reporting on this other than it's a neck injury. That's all that's
Okay,
been
that
said.
I wasn't sure what it was.
It's a neck injury. Outside of that, nothing's been said. So then I listened to the full quote from Harbaugh. I just saw, in passing that he just said, "Oh, he's not playing on Sunday." Okay, fine, whatever. But then the
I,
full
I mean,
quote
the
was
full quote is bad.
the full quote is what really got me thinking, and let me pull it up here again. I lost it.
Of course you did.
I know. I'm the worst. I am the worst. Oh yeah, here we go. John Harbaugh said, "quote I am concerned about it, but I'm not in a position to comment on it. I haven't been given the okay to comment on it at this point. He's not going to play this week. I can tell you that." That is a much scarier sounding
It,
quote
for,
than
so
just he's not going to play.
so from what I gather from that quote is that he as in Nomni, Justin, whatever he decides to go by, Metabike, is basically at this point deciding on his future in the NFL. Whether that is going through the necessary steps to get back to playing form, which
Mm.
is probably like surgery to heal. No matter what, it sounds like he's probably not playing another snap this season.
Yeah, I was going to say at the very least, it sounds
So
this is a serious neck
so
injury.
it sounds very reminiscent of what Stephon Tuitt went through. Stephon Tuitt
Mm.
not only went through like a neck injury, which eventually forced his retirement, that and mental health issues because he dealt with his brother's suicide.
Yeah.
So all of that went together and forced him to retire.
Mm.
So it sounds very, very reminiscent of like that similar situation,
Yeah.
which
So
for a D
yeah.
lineman where you're down in
Oh,
the gut,
brutal.
it's just
Absolutely
all
brutal.
all upper body constantly, and you put a lot of strain
Mm.
on your neck in that spinal area. So when you're doing that consistently, it's going to lead to some issues. So in my understanding, it's what's the next step? Is this something I am able to eventually play through, or is this something I can never do again?
Right. And my conspiracy theory on this is that that decision has already been made. And I feel like we got to that point, at the very least, that it was on the table or more than likely that he is going to be forced to retire. And I think the team got that news on Monday because we talked about it. Lamar's body language that whole game, they came out flat, didn't look like they wanted to be there. They were getting pushed around the whole game, everything like that. said the other day too, I went back and I watched player intros for primetime game at home, blackout, place is supposed to be rocking, everything like that. And even player intros felt a little flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was weighing on them already.
Mm-hmm.
And once things started to go a little sideways in that game, you saw Lamar more frustrated than he normally is. The defense not like in all out of sorts in that game. I think this is just where my head is going with this. That game makes a lot more sense with that news.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, best wishes going to Metabike. Hopefully, I am
Obviously.
completely wrong in all of this.
Yeah.
Not just for, he's a massive piece on that team, but also just for his sake there.
Yeah.
Um, but I have a weird feeling that this, like, decisions have already been made on this,
Yeah.
and that played into Monday night's game.
Yeah. I mean,
And
beyond
now it's
that,
just, you still got to rally and everything like that, like if you're
yeah,
the Ravens,
yeah,
everything. But
yeah. It's a tough thing to like figure out and go through. Neck
mhm.
injuries are really dangerous beyond
Yeah,
a
exactly. Yeah,
standard
yeah.
injury. However, regardless of him, you need to kind of get back into it. Focus. Yeah, it's a close game. I'm paying
I
attention to
know.
it.
Yeah, sorry. We're watching the Thursday night game as we're doing this. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if I saw Marv just made a catch there.
Marv just put them at the 6. They just ran
Uh,
a negative, not a negative play, but just got back to the line of scrimmage. So it's second and goal at the 6 right now.
gotcha.
But yeah,
30 seconds left. Goddamn.
yeah. Whatever Metabuke needs to do, he needs to worry about himself, and the team
Mm.
needs to support him throughout this next stage of the process. It's
Which I'm
imperative.
sure they will. I think
Yeah,
it was just like I said, what I'm saying for Monday
that's a touchdown. That's tie.
was,
That's tie
yep,
ball
he's
game,
in.
baby.
Damn.
Wow.
Um,
But yeah,
was
I don't
I
know.
think just the shock and going through all of that and just
I would say
being
they might.
frustrated and
I would argue
dejected.
they didn't get the news that he might have had been forced to retire because that's a pretty immediate thing that you need to announce. I think they might have got news of the severity of the injury and what
Mm.
that could lead to.
Yeah.
There is no decision that has been made. I think that's
No, no
still coming
decision has
next
been
week.
made, but like my thought process is like, okay, it's 70-30, like he's going to retire, he's coming back at some
Yeah,
point in time.
I think
And I think that's just still a lot
that's more so.
to
Yeah,
process.
yeah, I agree on that aspect. Um, Going forward, it's tough. It's going to be a tough thing to figure out. It's a big part of your run defense. So the Ravens are like fourth in the NFL in um, interior defensive lineman hurries on the quarterback. I read this
Mm.
today.
And that's Matabike.
Matabrike was 10 of your 23.
Yeah.
Without him, that's almost half of your hurries already gone. So going forward, there's a big hole to fill on that team, depending on what is next. Again, we're not going to have that information until probably sometime next week,
Yeah,
because that
seems so.
entire team's focused on the big game this weekend and rallying behind that. I think that's very important. Like focus on this week, because
Yeah.
after this, the schedule does lighten up a little bit for a week. Then gets a little tough again, but
I think they get the Rams next week, don't they?
no, I thought there was a game and then the Rams.
I think it's I think they go Chiefs, Rams, something else that's not fun.
Texans. It's Texans and Rams. Then bye.
Oh,
So
that's right. Yeah, Texans, Rams, then bye.
so you get an easier game
Yeah.
to put it lightheartedly.
Right.
But regardless, I think just focusing on this upcoming game against the Chiefs, which again we're gonna get into here in a bit. I don't really want to hedge a lot on this game until we talk about it in this week's picks, which is it is included.
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest game of the week. I'm not gonna really state a lot of stuff until we get to that point. But just talking about this scenario in general, losing Madubuike is going to be a tough loss for the Ravens defense. He's the second most important player on that defense, period. So without him, that's an issue going forward. But I do think the Ravens team's good enough to overcome that. You just have to mentally be prepared to do so.
Sorry, Sam Darnold throwaway. Not
Yeah,
sure
I
what's
saw.
going on here. They got 23 seconds left.
Nothing. They're probably just going to OT.
Yeah, unless, one big play gets you in field goal range here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Um,
Fun times.
but yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about that
Yeah,
scenario in
which just,
general.
once again, one of these teams is going to be 1-3.
Yes. And again, we will talk about our thoughts
It's
and
just
feelings here in
crazy.
a little bit. Um, moving on, let's start at the top here. There's the first game in I don't know however many years NFL game played in Ireland on Sunday. It'll be at
They
9:30
might be in
a.m.
field goal range here.
I guess we're
Sorry.
gonna find out. No, timeout. It's called it.
I was going to
Um,
say, yeah, they had one to burn there.
yeah. So 9:30 a.m. game here in Dublin. Steelers Vikings. This is interesting. You got one of the best defensive minds in football with Brian Flores. What's going to happen? What are you going to show? How's Steelers offense going to come out? What are they going to look like? And on the flip side, is Steelers defense going to be able to fully figure it out, not figure it out 75% like they did last weekend?
Hmm.
So there's a lot of narratives going into this game. What's Carson Wentz going to look like against a better team? Especially a better defense?
I
And
mean, he
then
didn't really have to do much last week.
no. I mean, anybody could have looked decently against the Bengals defense. Let's be so
Yeah,
for
and
real.
yeah, I mean, he threw 20 passes. He was 14 to 20 for a buck 73, and then came out of
Yeah,
the game.
yeah, because they're up 30-3 at that point.
Yeah,
But I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Regardless, you have a lot of question marks with this one. One of these teams is going to move to 3-1, which is insane to me.
disgusting.
None of these teams should be 3-1. The Steelers nor Vikings are good enough for that,
Mhm.
but just the way the schedules kind of fall.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have hopes of who it's going to be. I don't even know if I want that to be the case, but it's who I'm going to root for. Um, just
Oh,
because I think they
they
are
rolled
the better
JSN out.
team.
Sorry, they rolled JSN out and gave the Seahawks their timeout back. Put 18 seconds back on the clock.
I was going to say he looked out of bounds, but yeah.
Yeah, they called him in at first there. Rolled
Oh,
him
that's
in,
crazy.
sorry, but back to this game. If this
Jordan
game,
Addison. This is Jordan Addison's first game back, too.
yeah, if this game was in Pittsburgh, I'd really like the Steelers here.
Correct.
Because I don't
I
think you
agree with that.
can duplicate what the Vikings did on defense last week. But
That
with
was
this
also
being in Dublin,
yeah,
is just it's these Dublin and London games and Munich games. They're toss ups. Like
yeah,
weird things happen in these games.
yeah. So
So
I am curious as to what's gonna occur here. I'll be up early watching the game, seeing what transpires. But
mhm.
I, I don't even know what to make of either of these teams until this game ends. So even then, I won't really know. The
Yeah, again,
Steelers for
I have a tough time
truly,
taking too much stock into these games just because again, weird things happen. They're
yeah,
cool. I love the environments. I'm happy that the NFL does it. It's just they're always weird.
yeah. The Steelers' first true test of the year isn't going to be until the end of October. So I
Yeah.
just kind of riding until then, and then that's when they face the Packers at home,
Mhm.
and they're wearing the ugliest uniforms of all time. So excited for that. All right.
uh, moving on. Do you just want to go down through the slate here?
I was just gonna jump. I mean, a couple of these games we can briefly touch. I mean, Bills Saints. There's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Bills are looking to move to 4-0, and I believe that they will. He missed it.
No, you got it.
Oh, did he?
He snuck
Oh,
it in. Yeah,
jeez.
he snuck it in. It looked like it was coming off weird.
Yeah, it
It
did.
stopped leaking to the right.
All right, good for
Seahawks
the
3-1.
Seahawks. Wow, good for them. All right,
Bodes well for me.
all right, let's TV off. All right. Yeah. Bills looking to move to 4-0. Believe they get that done. Lions playing Browns
No.
at home. I believe they get that done. Not a whole
Yeah, on
lot
the
to say
fast track
about
that
that.
helps. I mean, the game could get a little weird, but
Sure. I don't foresee that happening.
if the Browns lose last week, I would I'd be more
On the
interested in that
Browns.
game, but like
Yeah.
not how
I
that
don't
game went.
no. I think the Lions have very much figured it out, and that's a dangerous team to look at now. Because
Yeah.
their defense looks a lot better than it did at any point last year
Yeah.
currently. So
I
that's
mean, last 6 weeks they had you and I suiting up.
exactly. So I mean, but they fixed their depth, is what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah.
the craziest game of the week is Titans Texans, both 0-3. Um, there is a world where the Titans do win this game, and the
Hmm.
Texans move to 0-4. And at that point, there is a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily a game I have strong feelings for. It's just one to monitor going into
Yeah.
this week.
Like if Cam Ward is able to take care of the ball, like it could just be an ugly, low scoring game.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's like a 17-10 game, one way or another.
Yeah,
No,
or even
both of
less,
these off,
honestly.
yeah, both of these offenses have struggled throughout the
Hmm.
season. I foresee
Yeah,
that
I
continuing
trust
here.
Cam Ward to make a weird play at some point in time,
Yeah,
good or bad for him. But yeah, I just feel like Cam Ward at some point in time trying to do something crazy and turning the ball over, mixed
yeah.
with Callahan's clock management, which is
Hmm.
horrendous. Like Texans should win this game, get to 1-3. It'll be ugly. It won't look good, but
Yeah,
you know, again, sometimes you just got to see one go through.
yeah. Sometimes. I look to see the Chargers just continue to win. They play the Giants in New York. Yes, there is a new quarterback starting for the Giants. Jackson thought was named a starter on Tuesday morning, and they did come out and say that they plan for him to start the rest of the season in that position. Whether or not I believe that to be the correct
This
decision behind that offensive line, we'll see. However, that could throw a curveball at the Chargers, one that they're not fully prepared for.
this may or may not be getting bet this week.
Ooh, all right, then we'll talk about that later because there's another 1 o'clock game that will be getting discussed here in a bit. But the only other interesting 1 o'clock game that I see is Commanders Falcons. Do the Falcons get a chance to figure it out this week and upset the Commanders, put both teams at 2-2?
This might also be getting
Uh, Regardless,
bet.
I don't really foresee the Falcons winning this game. I've never at one point been high on the Falcons and high on this team, and Jaden Daniels being healthy this week, regardless of where this game is being played at. I just foresee that being the case and them continuing to win this game.
this
Yes,
is
Terry
this is
is hurt.
this is a spot bet for me.
Yeah,
Like I think if this game is played 10 times, Commanders win 7 of them, 8 of them.
no, you're on the
But
Falcons side.
I'm on the Falcon side of this one.
I mean, to be fair, they did just get burned by the Panthers pretty badly,
Yeah.
but regardless of that, I just don't have a lot of faith in Penix. And going against this Commanders defense led by Dan Quinn, I just don't have
I
a lot of
mean,
faith behind them
Commanders defense
personally.
outside of week 1, like week 1 they played well. Beat up
Yeah,
on the Giants. Gave up
then you play the
27 to the
Packers.
Packers, which you can say, hey, that's just the Packers are going to do that to people, which is fair.
Okay, you gave up
But they let
24 to the Raiders, but most of that was in the fourth quarter when you were already up by 20 points.
and it was bombs from Gino.
You're also up by 20. It was
No, I
Trey
know, but what
Tucker
I'm
for
saying,
10. The third Trey Tucker touchdown was 61 yards, sure. But the other
they
one
gave up
was
a
10
few big
yards.
plays in that game then too. Like
Sure.
again, towards the end of it, but
But
like
also you're playing zone, you don't care. You're just playing prevent. It doesn't matter. When you're up by 20 plus in the fourth, you're just playing to get the game over with. So
yeah, that's
that's where
fair.
my argument comes in with that score. Otherwise, sure, you got beat by one of the best teams in the NFL. Okay, that sucks. And in
That's
that
fair.
game, your quarterback got hurt. So you're
Mm.
obviously going to be struggling. If they struggle in this game against the Falcons, who don't have a great defense, have a young pass rush core, then we'll have a conversation next week. But again, I foresee this to be Jaden Daniels coming back, finding his rhythm, continuing that, regardless of if you have a healthy Terry McLaurin or not. Which at this moment it does not seem to be the case. He's not practiced this week. He's leaning to be out on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I do see them leaning a little bit more on Debo, De'Ami Brown, etc. on that passing attack, and maybe leaning a little bit more into the run game with Jeremy McNichols again, which is a crazy name to say out loud in 2020. But hey,
No, that's fair. I do like the Falcons in that spot though. Just after
yeah,
getting blown out, angry. This could be a ton of points. Like
yeah,
this could be a 35-33 game, something like that. But
it could
and
be
who has the ball last kind of thing.
I mean, that would mean that the Falcons would have to learn how to put points on the board. But yeah, they've struggled to do that this
That's
season,
fair. Well, they just fired their wide receiver coach.
which is I did see that, which is hilarious.
Weird.
All right, kind of jump in here because we're going to talk about all the 4 o'clock games this week. Correct. The
Yeah, most of
Rams
them.
Colts. We're not going to talk about the Rams Colts.
No, yeah, let's do that
This
one.
is an interesting one. Indy going to LA. I believe this is where the Indianapolis luck runs short, in my personal opinion. You're going to on the road, traveling a couple hours to Los Angeles, playing one of the more well-rounded teams in the NFL.
An angry Rams team too. I feel like they
Who
let that game slip away.
they did. They definitely let the game against the Eagles last week slip away. They should have had that win. We talked about that on Tuesday. But I believe that this is their get back to reality game. It might be a little bit of a grind, a little bit of a battle. But if they're able to stop Jonathan Taylor, I think they're able to get this game won. We're talking like a 24-17 game here, probably something in that realm.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
on the
think they
same
can
side
figure
with
that out.
you with that. I do think the Rams get them in this game.
Hmm.
Just again, I think it's just a bad spot for the Colts.
Yeah,
They're coasting a little bit. Like Rams have a little bit more motivation in this because that division is as tight as it is, and
yeah.
they let that game slip away last week. However, just for fun,
Hmm.
if the Colts do win this game, then I think we're all having a very different conversation about the Colts.
I will have a different conversation next week about the Colts if they win this game.
Yeah, which
R-
very different than what I thought of the Colts.
yeah. Regardless, the Colts next 2 games after the Rams are the Raiders, and then at home, back-to-back at-home games. So at home against the Raiders, at home against the Cardinals. Very favorable games for them.
Yeah,
So we will see, but that is my opinion regarding that game.
yeah. Like I there is a path for the Colts to win this game, which is
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor, but also Rams secondary can kind of get got right now.
it could, but
Like it's definitely a possibility. It's
yeah,
on the board to say the least because they got worked in the second half of that game on
but
Sunday.
those are also 2 All-Pro receivers that they were playing
I
against.
I agree,
Yeah.
but Pittman is no slouch.
I'm not calling Pittman a slouch, but he's also not
Yeah,
Devontae Smith. And that's the number two receiver on the
yeah,
Eagles. That's
that's
all.
fair.
All right, moving to the Sunday night game here, Packers-Cowboys. Just want to touch on this briefly. Cowboys are going to be without CeeDee Lamb going forward for the next like 2 to 3 weeks, and Packers are on the road in Dallas again. Last time Packers went to Dallas was 2023 playoffs. 2020, yeah, 2023 season playoffs, so 2024. And they handled Dallas.
Beat the doors off of them.
It was a great game. I loved every moment of it.
I
So,
believe. Let me double check this, but I believe LaFleur has never lost to the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I mean, I don't expect them to lose to the Cowboys today or on Sunday. Micah going to Dallas, and this was already a Sunday night game. That amazing. They like
Yes,
pre-wrote the script. Crazy how that
for
works.
real.
But I think this is very much so. Packers are going to be frustrated, especially after that loss to Cleveland. They're going to come in firing, and they're not going to let up until maybe the fourth quarter and just hand it off to Josh Jacobs for 15 minutes. I don't see this being a close game. Uh, Probably a two-touchdown lead at some point will be had by the Packers. Dak is going to be throwing the ball immensely, but to who? You
Yeah,
have ball out
Pickens
George
and
Pickens because I mean he's
and
either going
Jake
to be
Ferguson.
yeah. I mean Pickens is either going to be a diva and Dak doesn't really deal well with that,
No,
or you're just going to pepper it like you said to Jake Ferguson. Um, if I I'd like for Dallas to start with the ball, but that's the only way they might have a chance to control this game early. Outside of that, I struggle to see a path that they can get this game won.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Like I do feel like Dak's weird in these games when he's like a heavy dog. Like he finds ways to keep games close somehow,
Yeah.
some way. It's very strange. Um, but no, I'm with you on this. I think the Micah return is going to be real,
Oh,
and
it's going to be so real.
he's going to be taking a lot of that personally.
Yeah, he's going to be picturing Dak as Jerry Jones, and he might whip him on the field,
I was going to
literally.
say either that or just headhunt Javonte Williams just to prove a point that he can defend the run.
That's also fair.
But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Dallas just thinks all their players are fat. I don't really know.
Yeah.
So that's a Luka Doncic joke, in case you guys don't
Yeah.
understand. All right, last game I want to touch on briefly here is Bengals Broncos Monday night.
Mhm.
Bengals are fraud 2-1 potentially, and the Broncos could be a good 1-2. I don't know though.
Mhm.
They are a 7.5 point favorite going into this game. The Broncos are. They're at home. Jake Browning has I feel like he has to have a short leash at this point after last week's outing. He's thrown what like 4 picks in 2 games already, 5 picks
It's
in
got
two
to be something
games.
like that. Yeah, 5 picks in 2 games.
I mean, he might
In a
lead the
game and a
NFL in
half, really.
interceptions. Yeah, he might lead the NFL in interceptions already, which is
That's a
kind
that's
of
a
insane.
good question. Let's find out.
Um, Going forward, I don't really know what to make of this team and if he can really right his ship to where they need to go. They're either going to even out and they might cruise to like a 6-9 when Joe Burrow comes back, 6-8, something like that, or they might win 2 games of their next 12. There's really not a lot of in between. Um, Regardless, I don't see them finishing the season in a positive manner. Whereas the Broncos need this win desperately.
Yeah, they need something to go right,
Yeah,
especially. expectations that
for sure.
they had on this team. Like, and
Yeah,
Sean Payton was doing it too,
I mean, Sean Payton
saying
said
that
this was one of the best teams he's ever put together in
he
his
said it's
life.
one of the 7 teams. I think he said seven,
Seven was mentioned.
seven. I think it
I
was
think
one
he
of the. He
said
said it was one of
this
the 7 teams that he felt could actually win the Super Bowl, and he coached Drew Brees and the Saints for
15
15
years.
years.
Yeah, which is crazy because Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this
Mm-hmm.
game. With one of the
Yes.
most, he's the most accurate quarterback to ever play, and there's
Yes.
no denying that.
No.
So
Yeah.
crazy
Well,
statement by Sean
now,
Payton.
granted, you get it a little bit because that defense on paper is loaded,
Sure,
but
but Super Bowls
yeah,
are won on the
Dre
field and not
Greenlaw
on the paper.
hasn't. Well, you're telling me.
Yeah,
I mean, Greenlaw still has not played. Hufangas look good. Those were the two big additions in the offseason. And the defense has looked good. It's just the offense can't get anything going right now.
yeah. Just kind of need Bo Nix to get back with the program.
Yeah. Also, to your point, yes, Jake Browning is leading the league in interceptions, but only by
Thank
one right now.
only by one, and he's played maybe 6 quarters. That's
Yes.
actually
Joe
that's
Flacco, Gino, Tua, and Trevor Lawrence are tied
5
for second with
with
4.
4. That's quite impressive, Jake Browning. Good for you, dude.
That
All
is.
right, getting into the picks this week. Clearly we missed a couple of big games. Touched on one of them briefly. Where do you want to
Mm-hmm.
start at?
Oh, well, let's just get it out of the way here. Chiefs Ravens.
Okay, I'll let you do your little rambling bit here.
I don't really have much to say.
That's
I
good.
mean, obviously, it's the picks segment. So I am picking the Ravens because I have to.
I mean, you don't have to.
Again,
I've bet against my team before.
well, you're a fake fan. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not a fake
Um,
fan. I'm a realist.
I'm still going to pick them because I have to.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't love it. I don't love it. Mahomes is very rarely a home dog,
Hmm.
and he definitely doesn't really lose as a home dog. Um, Worthy is coming back for this Chiefs team. They looked like they started to figure things out on offense in
Sure.
the second half on Sunday night. The Ravens, I mean, the only saving grace is like bounce back game because I don't think it could really look that much worse.
Hmm.
And the Chiefs up to this point have not shown the ability to consistently generate a pass rush. Their pass defense is good, but they're just not generating a ton of pressure. It's more just really good secondary play.
Yeah.
And you look at Chiefs run game with Pacheco and Hunt. Okay, you have a little bit of hope there that even as bad as the Ravens' run defenses looked, you're not getting Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. You're not getting James Cook. It's not one of those situations. However, we could make them look like David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs.
Sure.
But I don't love it. I don't like anything about this game. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going
I
to
hope
be
so.
just hurt the entire time. It's going to be a painful watch. I don't.
Yeah.
It's times like
Um.
these that I go, why did I choose to like sports?
So I'll go into my portion then, while you painfully sit there, and I'll make you
Mm-hmm.
feel a little bit happier. So last
Thank you.
week we did our picks, and I said I'm picking the Lions this week. However, if I am correct and the Lions do win, like they did, like I believe, I like the Ravens next week against the Chiefs. I really like that position. I really like that stance, and I will continue to support that. So the Ravens are at home. That I don't know. The Ravens are away. I'm so sorry. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, this is an Arrowhead.
Yeah. Again, that doesn't matter. I'd like them more if they're at home, but still, I like them regardless of where they're playing at.
Mm.
The Chiefs the last 2 weeks. Last week against the Giants, who don't really have a running back on their team, allowed 130 yards. Against the Eagles, they allowed 122 yards, 88 of that one. Saquon, that's Saquon's best game on the year, rushing yard wise.
Yeah.
Not fantasy wise, but yardage wise. That's his best game so far. So it has been 122 and 130. Week 1, they allowed 90 yards. The Chargers didn't know what they were doing on offense yet, so it didn't really matter. I can't really count that game. Ravens have arguably the best backfield with Lamar and Derrick Henry in the NFL. I foresee that being a big thing that they lean on. Now, they need to not get away from it like they have every single game that they played. They just stopped running the ball. They did it last week. They did it the week before. They didn't do it in the fourth quarter in week 1 against the Bills. We all saw it. So if they continue to lean on the run game, I foresee them being fine. And I foresee them really being able to open up the passing attack and getting the ball down the field like they need to be. That is why I am picking the Ravens in this game. You have Lamar. You have Derrick Henry. If you're leaning on these two guys heavily, you're going to win this game, regardless of what your defense looks like. Because I know you're going to outpoint-wise the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Period of that. That is why I'm picking the Ravens. I think this is going to be a 42 to 28 game.
Jesus.
Ravens. I just believe that. The Chiefs defense is fine. They've been fine this year. They haven't been good. They've been fine.
No.
Looking at
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
they gave up 27 against the Chargers, 20 against the Eagles. You played the Giants. Russell Wilson's nothing. We all know this. So I just foresee this to be the case here.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
It's what I believe will be happening. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but when we do our picks, I'm right about 80% of the time.
Well, all right.
Okay, you want to read off how big of a lead I have currently and how many picks I've got wrong? It's not a lot.
You have a 3-game and a cover lead on me right now. Not even a full cover. You have a 3-game and change lead on me right now.
Yeah, but that's 17 more points than you have, big boy.
It's 3 games. It's 3 games. All I got to do is get 3 games on you here.
Yes, yeah. Make it up then.
All right, next one. Let's go Bears Raiders.
All right, Bears Raiders. This is my favorite game of the week to talk about because these are two desperate teams, both of them, both sitting at 1-2. Neither want to go to 1-3. Sure, the Ravens Chiefs, it's the same situation, but we know those teams are good. We know what we have in those teams. With the Raiders Bears, these are two teams that were expected to be decent to good coming into the year. Both of them are currently sitting at 1-2. Bears, they're both equally in the toughest divisions in their respective conference. NFC North, AFC West. So this game, to me, is make or break for both of these teams, which is crazy to say in week 4 of the NFL season. Raiders lose this game, fall to 1-3. They still have 5 games left to play in division. 2 against the Broncos, 2 against the Chiefs, 1 against the Chargers. Bears have 5 games to play in division. 2 against the Lions, 2 against the Vikings.
No, they have.
Did they play the Lions week 2? They played the
They
Lions
got
week
Vikings
2.
and Lions, so they got 4 more divisional games.
So even worse. You have 4 more division games. You're 0-2 already in division.
Yeah.
You lose this game, you fall to 1-3. And that's not good going forward. My pick in this game, unfortunately for the Bears, is the Raiders. I do because this game is in Vegas. If I am correct.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, I thought I wrote that down wrong. Right. So Raiders are favored just slightly. This is basically a coin flip. Again, you get 3 when you're the home team. I think the Bears secondary is already a question mark. Jalen Johnson is out for an extended period of time with injury. There's not a lot going on back there. Tyreek Stevenson's been up and down all season.
Mhm.
And as you saw last week with the game against the Commanders, like we talked about already today, Geno Smith has been dialing up that long ball. You're going to
Mhm.
see it more. He's going to work the middle of the field. This hopefully is also the game where they are able to use Ashton Genty in a prolific fashion. I'm not talking about getting him 6.5 yards per carry. I'm talking about getting him to like 4 yards per carry. You get
And
into
not
yeah, getting
not
hit at the
have him
line of
getting
scrimmage.
hit or behind the line
Yeah,
of scrimmage.
yeah. I'm just talking. You get him a couple yards per carry. That's really going to open up your passing game even more. That's what I
Hmm.
think is going to start to happen in this game, and I'm going to lean on the hierarchy of Pete Carroll. Been there, done that, gonna get the job done. That's why I like the Raiders in this game. Because I believe run game's gonna get fixed in this. Not fixed, but pushed in the right direction. Gonna open up that passing attack even more. Injuries to the Bears defense is gonna start to really hurt them. And I need to see more consistency within the Bears offense itself for me to even want to pick them in this game. Last week you played the Cowboys. Congratulations. Russell Wilson dropped 450 yards on them and still lost.
Yeah.
I'm not that I'm I'm not that impressed.
So I'm on the
This is
Bears side.
Yeah, I knew it. I was gonna say,
I am on the
and
Bears
this
side on
is
this one.
this is the only game
So
we're gonna have different.
I think I do think like it's a fair point saying like, okay, congrats, you moved the ball on the Cowboys, but I think Caleb also just needed to see a system work.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Whether or not like the level of talent, but you just need to see the vision and like see how it works, and hopefully that'll rein him in a little bit. Because he played great
No,
against
no,
the
I'm
Cowboys for
not.
sure,
I don't
and
want to
that.
take
But I'm
away
saying
anything
like,
from that. Yeah.
yeah, no, I know what you mean, but like I'm just saying like in the sense of like, okay, now there's a rhythm that's been established. You see what it's supposed to look like. You
Hmm.
feel better about it. You start to trust the system a little bit more because it was such a train wreck for you last year.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I said this last week when I bet against the Raiders last week. Um, and I said I was probably coming back to the well again because they're coming back to Vegas. I'm playing the travel card on this one. Week one, you're in New England. Week two, you're back in Vegas. Week three, you're back east in Washington. Week four, you're coming back to Vegas. I think that's just a really rough back and forth to start the year. And especially with the Bears being underdogs in this game. Like I am betting this one again. I'm on the Bears side of this one. I do think it'll be a different test a little bit because Cowboys don't have anything close to what Max Crosby is. So that'll give
Sure.
him something to think about. But I think it's like baby steps there. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you got that Cowboys game with nothing on defense.
Yeah.
Now you're getting the Raiders defense, which personnel wise, but Pete Carroll is a very good defensive coach. Will have the DBs. The DBs will be a better challenge for him, and Max Crosby is definitely a step up in terms of a challenge for him.
Yeah.
But it's still not. It's not what he saw in week two with the Lions. It's not what he saw in week one with the Vikings. Like I think he's kind of had this weird like brutal matchups weeks one and two, and now
Actually
we're
argue.
growing into it.
I mean, I'd argue Max Crosby's going to be the scariest person he's seen yet so far across from
Oh
him.
yeah, no, I agree with that, but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
If his
Like
O line,
when
so
that's
if
the main focal point though, too, in terms of the
sure,
pass
I
rush.
mean,
You know
but
what I'm saying? It's
their
not
D
like
line isn't
the
nothing to
Lions.
scoff at either.
No, I mean it's an NFL
Yeah.
D line. I agree with that, but it's not what the Lions by committee are throwing at you, or what the Vikings with the Brian Flores scheme is throwing at you either.
No, no, but I think this has always been my philosophy with the Bears. It'll continue to be that. I will not buy into them until it is week 17 and they are officially in the playoffs.
That's fair.
And even then,
It's entirely fair.
I don't think I can. I'm not going to bet on them. I'm always going to bet against them because they're the Bears. Until I
That's
see
true.
Walter Payton in their backfield,
There's a cursed,
I'm not
cursed
looking at
franchise.
them. I'm just not going to look at them in a positive light.
Fair
It's
enough.
not what have you done for me. It's what have you done for me lately,
Yeah,
and they
I'll
haven't
give
done
that to
shit. So
you.
I have more trust in Geno Smith and that offense slash defense combination with Pete Carroll than I ever
Mhm.
will in whatever Ben Johnson may roll out, just because it's the Bears.
Fair enough.
So until I see it more consistently, I will not buy into it. You're going to get a slightly bigger test against one of the best pass rushers in the NFL this week, and then I'll be able to further make my determination on who you are. But until then,
Fair enough.
I'm always going to bet against you when given the chance. Always. Except last
Okay.
week. I bet with them because they were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
against
you did
Cowboys.
back them last week. Yeah.
But that was an easy back.
Fair enough. That's fair. Especially once CD went down.
Yeah. I
All
didn't
right.
know that going into the game, to be fair.
No, that's true. No, it was just the icing on the cake. All
Again,
right.
but to be fair, my point last week, I picked the game that
Hmm.
I've picked the Bears game twice in the last 2 weeks. You've given me the option. I've gone with that game because they're two desperate teams. I picked the more
Mhm.
desperate team last
Did
week in
we?
the
Oh yeah,
Bears.
yeah, we did take
I'm
them last
picking
week.
the
Yeah.
more I'm picking the more desperate team this week in the Raiders.
Fair
I
enough.
want that to be the case. All right, where are we going next?
Let's go Eagles Bucks.
Beautiful. All right,
Um,
this is a fun game. I'm
this
excited
is
to
going to be a
see.
fun game. So I don't know what you've picked in this. I feel like I know where you're leaning on it, but do you know what game time temperature is supposed to be in that game?
Where's it at?
It's in Tampa.
Is it a hot one? I didn't think it was going to be hot.
102
90. Oh, 102. Jeez.
is what I saw today.
I wasn't even going to assume that. However, I just thought of something crazy. Continue to talk right now.
Um, so there's always that whole thing, teams from up north going down south, especially early in the year, dealing with Florida
Mm-hmm.
Heat, Jacksonville, and Tampa and Miami. Like, it is brutal. And a Tampa 102 is not going to be fun because it is going to be hot and sticky.
Not at all.
With that being said, too, Eagles are a bit banged up right now.
Mm-hmm.
As of yesterday, I didn't see any official, or I didn't see anything today, but as of yesterday, Zach Bond, Jihad Campbell did not practice, Adoree Jackson did not practice, and Lane Johnson was limited, which,
Mm-hmm.
after they found that groove in the second half of that game, mildly less concerning. But potentially no Zach Bond and no Jihad Campbell. Don't love that for the Eagles. Bucks are expected to get. I mean, Chris Godwin is trending towards playing. Tristan Wirfs was limited yesterday, but looks like he is leaning towards playing.
Okay.
Like, Bucks are getting some guys back. Eagles are dealing with some injuries. Eagles coming off of a big
Big win.
emotional win. Yeah, late in that game. Even with them figuring out a lot on offense in the second half of that game. From what I'm seeing from the Bucks this year, until they're dead, I'm not counting them out.
For sure.
So I am
For
on the Bucks
sure.
side of this. I will be betting this one as well, especially because of the number. But yeah, I'm on the Bucks side
I
here.
I am also on the Buck side.
I figured that
So,
much.
fun fact. Between in the last 365 days, the Eagles have lost once, and it was the injured
Yep.
game Jalen Hurts had against the Commanders. The loss prior to that was week 4 of last season to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Hmm.
in Tampa
Bucks
Bay.
have had their number. Bucks have had their number.
Not only is it the same exact week, but it's the same exact scenario. Week 4 in Tampa Bay. Hot climate, battling injuries, facing. I mean, you're 3-0 as opposed to 1-2 whenever you went to Tampa last season. I highly, highly, highly feel that this is going to go Tampa's way for a
Yep.
lot of the same reasons you just stated. Philly's dealing with some question marks. Tampa's getting healthier. Yes, Mike Evans might be hurt, but Mike Evans hasn't even been the number one wide receiver in that offense. Emeka Egbuka has been heavily favored in that team, and they're leaning heavily in the run game. We've seen that week over week. Chris Godwin might be coming back this week. I believe him to probably be a non-factor
Yeah,
regardless.
he was a full participant yesterday,
I see him maybe
I
playing
believe.
50. If he does play on Sunday, it's probably about 50% of the snaps. He's probably going to see about 4 attempts. I see a stat line going like 3 for 42, maybe
Yeah,
a
like
touchdown.
he's going to be on
Maybe,
the field.
yeah, like I said,
Mike Evans, yeah,
regardless,
like I said,
non-factor. It's just he's a body. He's a body to take away from Emeka, take away from everybody else that they're really going to be funneling the ball to.
yeah,
I it might end up being a close game. However, I heavily, heavily feel that Tampa Bay is going to win this game.
yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
Again, like I said, I'm gonna bet this one, especially at the number. Yeah, I like the Bucks in this spot, and they have some weird voodoo magic going on right now too, just like
they're
the Eagles do.
they're stealing it, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Good for them. Somebody else deserves it. That's what I'll
yeah,
say.
right. And then the last one here, Jags Niners. Jags going out to San Francisco.
But I'm on Jacksonville.
All right, nice. So am I.
Yeah, I know. I told you
Yeah,
there
well,
was one
again,
game we were going to
it,
be different on. I knew what game it
there's
was. I know your
there's two
mind too
teams
well.
I'm legally obligated to back every time they're in the
And
picks.
and and unfortunately, two of them are on here, and I agreed with both of them this week.
Yeah.
Um, I think the Niners, one, they are again the most injured team in football for the
Hmm.
third, fourth straight season, which is
Yep.
tough. I think their medical staff needs to be looked into. I think they need to switch from turf to grass, but that's an entirely different story going forward. Regardless of this, I don't love Jacksonville. Let's get that out of the way. But their defense has performed above average, and if they can get their offense figured out, passing game wise, their run games look phenomenal, much better than it did any year under Doug Peterson. If they can figure out their pass game, you have Brian Thomas, you have Travis Hunter, you have other pieces. You have a quarterback who's making $60 million a year. If you can figure it out and put it together against a defense that has been mutilated throughout the first 3 weeks of the NFL, I really like that. I don't know if they're going to figure out the passing game, but I like everything else going their way. Brock Purdy's coming back this week after his injury. I don't see him being 100%. Their run game's been abysmal to start the season. They're still without George Kittle. They're still without Brandon Ayuk. Jawan Jennings is questionable. There's a and Ricky
Pearsall's
Pearsall
questionable.
Pearsall didn't. I was just about to say that didn't practice today. So there's too many question marks on the offensive side of the ball for the Niners for me to even feel comfortable saying I think they're going to win this week. Yes, what they have going for them is it's in San Francisco. Everything else is getting the Jacksonville way. I'm going to lean on that and expect Jacksonville to get something going on the ground and hopefully opening up that passing attack.
Yeah, the only things that give me pause, any sort of pause on this, like I'm still obviously backing the Jags,
Yeah.
but is Bob Sala is a very good defensive coordinator, um,
Yes.
and could definitely force some mistakes just with a game plan with Trevor Lawrence there, and then also just This game opened, I think, at 2.5, and it's been
Okay.
bet up to 3.5, which like I'm happy about because I like it
Hmm.
more now. But like that's the only other thing that's odd to me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like no Nick Bosa, probably no Pearsall. Jawan Jennings is hurt and probably won't be 100%. Purdy is probably going to play, but probably not going to be 100%. Like it's you're betting on just Christian McCaffrey to do something, and I
Yeah.
don't love that because the Jags defense has been solid. Like it's a very confusing one. Obviously, I'm taking the Jags. I like them in this spot, but like it also feels like every time it makes too much sense for a
Hmm.
Jags win, that's where they find ways to lose.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see 100% what's gonna happen in this game.
Yeah.
If the Jags lose this one, I don't think I can back them any other game going forward.
I don't know what I'll say.
We'll find out next week.
Yeah. All right. Who's your
Who is?
underdog pick this
Oh,
week?
you beat me to it.
Sending you first.
I if I get burned this week, I will not touch them again this year. I'm going back to my bread and butter and taking the Panthers over the
Yeah.
Pats.
Knew that was coming.
It's the only game I truly like this week with the underdog. Every other game I
Hmm.
don't really want to touch. I kind of like the Panthers. They're riding the momentum of blanking the Falcons last week. Derek Brown literally eats people for a living, and the the Patriots fumbled 5 times last week. I
Hmm.
don't think they're going to fix that issue overnight. So in turn, I see the Panthers D line at a bare minimum being a major problem for the Patriots going forward.
Sorry, I just had a bean explode on me.
I saw that. That's exciting.
Just trying to be
Um,
like sneaky opening it so
yeah,
it doesn't catch me on here making noise and everything like
yeah,
that. But
you're good.
oh, come
On
give me
top of
some.
that,
You know you like it.
you still have the question marks surrounding Christian Gonzalez and if he's gonna play. The Patriots defense last week was all over the place. I don't think they figured that out. Drake may have struggled to figure out Josh McDaniels' offense as a whole. I just don't know what to make of the Patriots. I know what the Panthers are, and they get better as the year goes. They proved that last season, and they're already showing it so far this year. Week one, bad. Week two, better. Week three, they won. I see them winning this game this week and continuing that momentum going forward. So if you're going to give me 5.5, I'm going to take it.
Sorry, a bunch of foam on my face there. Um,
You disagree, but that's okay.
I really liked listening to all that. I feel completely opposite about the Panthers.
I know you do.
um, Even after that win, I liked them even less. I
Hmm.
flirted like if it wasn't such a just square number with 5.5, I would have been on the Patriot side on this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I think that's just I think the Panthers team is just too young, too immature
They're
to
certainly a very young team, but
that like they're going to be feeling themselves, and then like I think the Patriots feel like they gave that game away again.
the Patriots are also a very young team.
Very
These
young
are
team, but I think
these are probably
there's like
two
a
of the
little bit more of
youngest teams.
frustration, and I trust Mike Vrabel a
Sure,
lot more
sure.
to
However,
have a
I
team locked in.
I struggle to really like what the Patriots have shown this season, and that's my issue.
That's
Whereas
fair.
with the Panthers, I do like parts of what they've shown. I like what I've
Mm.
seen out of Ted McMillan. I like parts of what I've seen from that defensive line. I like the past 6 quarters of Bryce Young. That's kind of what I'm leaning here. Whereas like Drake
That's
May's
fair.
been inconsistent. The run game in New England's been terrible. The defense
Mm.
has been subpar. Mike Vrabel's defense has been subpar.
Yeah. No,
So
again,
it's just like,
I liked all of that. It was a
yeah,
fun listen.
it's good talking points. Just I just
Yeah.
don't agree. I get it.
You sounded incredibly smart for all of that.
Unfortunately, you just don't agree with it, and I'm sure whatever team in game you bring to the table, I'm gonna disagree with.
Oh, you're gonna hate this.
Here we go. Bring it on.
We're doing it. I am backing up my talk from before the season started here.
Okay.
Give me the Giants +6 against the Chargers.
I don't
I
necessarily hate.
am
See,
jumping on the Jackson Dart bump.
so I get it. It's new quarterback. You don't know what you see. We kind of talked about
Mm-hmm.
this before the show. It's you don't
Yep.
know what you're gonna see. So there's gonna be a lot of different changes to the scheme. So I think there's gonna be a lot of second half adjustments with the Chargers. The Giants might get one or two plays on them in the first half. I 100% see that happening, just because you don't know
I
what
just
you're
like
getting
that
in
this
that quarterback.
game. I like that this game is hidden in the 1 o'clock window. I think that
Sure,
helps this. Um,
sure.
Giants coming off of looking horrible on a national game in prime time, bounce back spot. I'm I'm in on this one. I
I,
think,
I
and I grew to like Jackson Dart as the summer progressed, and I said it multiple times to you. I don't know if I said it on here, but if they were going to roll with Jackson Dart to start the year, I probably would have, at the very least, flirted with them as a playoff team.
I I just want to see it. I want to see what it looks like.
That's fair.
It's the same thing
I
I
think it's
play all
just
the time.
it's gonna it's a different, like, the offense is
Yeah.
gonna take on a new identity. It's probably gonna be basic, but, like, especially with it being his first week, and the Chargers do have a great defense. But
Hmm.
I it, it just feels like a fun spot.
Sure.
I'm going
I
off.
did.
I'm picking this one
Hey
off
hey
of
man.
vibes.
Hey man. I
That's
did
it.
this last week. I did it last week with the Giants. I played off of vibes. Guess what? I got fucked.
No,
So I we'll see. Kind of see.
no. I'm
Um.
liking it. I feel good about
Sure. Um. I
it.
I don't necessarily hate it. I get it. I get the pick. However, again, you did mention Chargers have a great defense, and on the opposite side of the ball, they have a great offense.
Hmm.
And Justin Herbert has made teams look absolutely silly. What they
No,
did against
I
the
agree with that. I just feel
they
like
made
this is this is taking on a lot of the complexion of um, Packers Browns last weekend.
sure not really no.
Undefeated team, but it's a
It's not.
non-conference
It's a
game.
different vibe because you have a rookie quarterback now. It's not like you have old
No,
man Joe
no, I
Flacco
get that.
versus
But
rookie
what I'm
quarterback.
saying is, like for the Chargers, for example, it's like that's why there was a lot of professional money on the
Oh yeah.
Browns this past week, because it's just a spot that you could be looking at a letdown game, because it's not a divisional game, it's not a conference game, it's
I,
a team that hasn't looked good. You can.
I don't know. Regardless, I just don't think I would touch this game just because
That's fair.
if I don't know what I'm gonna see, I don't want to even try to project it because Jackson Dart could come in like Justin Herbert did in his rookie season and completely turn it on. We could
Hmm.
get that. I don't know. And when
Hmm.
I have something I don't know, I don't want to touch it.
Well,
That
I'm
is the
living in the
issue with
unknown here.
all rookie quarterbacks. Unless like I know you're going into a terrible situation and you're starting week one. When it's a quarterback who
Mhm.
comes in mid-season, that's different to me because you've watched the offense, you know how it ticks, and especially if that team has good weapons on it, I don't know. Like Justin Herbert came in, he had Mike Williams, he had Keenan Allen, he had Hunter Henry, he had weapons on that offense. Jackson Dart's coming in, he has Malik Neighbors. I mean, that's where the conversation ends, but he has Malik Neighbors. So I don't know what is going to become of this. It's a game I wouldn't personally touch or bet, but I'm sure you're also betting it in your weekly games.
I am.
All right,
Which,
let's get
let's
into it.
get into it. So, recap of last week here, real quick. Once
4 and
again,
1.
had a 5-0 week stolen from me. And that was Rams plus 3.5 against the Eagles, with the worst possible thing that could have fucking happened in that game.
Block Eagle
Just
turn for a
if
touchdown.
Jordan Davis just fall on the ball, just fall on it, just
Yeah.
fall on it, and we're good, and everybody's fine, everybody's happy, we're good. But that doesn't happen. That's the only loss of the week. Commanders minus 3.5 last week against the Raiders. Never a doubt in that one. Chiefs minus 6 against the Giants. Giants had a chance to make that one pretty squirrely in a couple different spots there, but
Russell Wilson's
still felt
bad
good
at
about that
football.
pick. Chargers minus 2.5 against the Broncos. Needed some late game heroics and probably, at least right now, the throw of the year from Justin Herbert there
Just
to help that
absolutely,
one cash.
just a dot.
Yeah, and then Cardinals lost the game, but covered. Lost by 1 to the Niners to add them plus 3. Looking good. 4-1 week. We are 9-6 on the year through 3 weeks.
A
So
lot
run
better
through
than
these
last
quick
year.
again. Better start than last year for sure.
Yeah.
So run through these quick here. Talked about a bunch of these already. So Giants plus 6 against the Chargers. Again, I'm playing the vibes pick on this one. I think there's going to be some new life on the Giants on this one. Watching somebody that can move a little bit better and is just going to play free. Like, I mean, he doesn't really have anything to lose. Everybody, like,
Yeah.
even on the broadcast, Collinsworth was talking about after the bye week and like week 9, bringing him in to start finally or whatever it was, like because of the defenses. So nobody's expecting anything out of this kid, if we're being honest. So
Yeah. I mean,
go out there and let it rip.
yeah.
I'm here for
That's
it,
always
and
how
I
it
think,
goes.
yeah. So, um, yeah, Giants plus 6, and then the rest of these we kind of touched on. Bucks plus 3.5 against the Eagles. I like the Bucks win outright. I especially love that half-point hook. The 3.5 makes me a lot more comfortable taking them there. Jags plus 3.5 against the Niners. We talked about this one. I don't necessarily understand this number. I don't get how
They're away.
we're
So
there, or it's this one's
that's literally
strange to
it.
me,
They're
and that
just
it's getting
away.
bet up to 3.5. I am definitely going to take
People
that half
people
point
love
hook.
the Niners. That's what it
I
is.
know it's crazy. It's crazy to
Yeah.
me that even in this state they're still on him like that. So Jags plus 3.5, and then again, like I said, this is more so the travel part of it than anything else. Bears plus 1.5 against the Raiders. Um, I like this spot for the Bears, even in
Hmm.
Vegas. Could be a lot of points in this one, but I like my chances being on the Bears side of this one. And then finally, Falcons plus 1.5 against the Commanders. Falcons got absolutely embarrassed last week, even though box score outperformed the Panthers in pretty much every category.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get anything to go their way in that game. I like this as a bounce back spot. They're at home. Jaden Daniels coming off of the injury. Is he going to be 100%? Like we saw what he looked like for a little bit of a stretch last year when he was dealing with a little bit of an injury.
Hmm.
Wasn't totally the same guy.
I mean,
No Terry
he was.
McLaurin and his splits. I mean, when he was dealing with the rib thing,
I mean,
his
he
numbers
eventually he got
dipped.
back to it.
He got back, but what I'm
It
saying is
dipped
when
for
he was
like two
dealing with injury,
weeks, but that's not what this
it was
is.
like
No
2-3
rib.
weeks. Yeah, but
It's a little
then no
different.
Terry McLaurin. Don't love that for the Commanders either. So I'm gonna ride with the Falcons on that one as well.
Sure.
So let's make some money.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a 2 and 3 week for you, but yeah.
Still above 500. That's all I care about right now.
There you go. All right. That
Yeah,
is
3-2
all we
the rest
got.
of the way is perfect for me,
Well, I
actually.
didn't say 3-2. I said 2-3.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I just got to be one game better than that.
Yeah, that's a goal.
All right, you got anything else here?
That is it. Let's have a long Sunday. Enjoy it. I'm gonna cry a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, get a little drunk, and I'm just gonna have a good time. As should you.
Yeah,
Asher's gonna shit his pants at about 5 o'clock, so just be prepared for that.
5 o'clock. You're giving me until 5. I think it is going to be about
It's like
4:25 Eastern time.
kickoff. That's like kickoff. I'm giving him
Yeah,
at
I'm probably
least
not
another
gonna. I'm not gonna
first.
wake up in good spirits.
Yeah, I care less. So there's a difference.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. All right, let's
All
get
right,
out of here.
guys. What's that? Deuces.